TV. Welcome back to the First Podcast TV show. This is where we keep it real, we keep it simple, and we keep it true. And so today we are going to look at something else. We are going to turn our focus into something else. And this is what makes most marriages fail in 2025. That is number one thing. And so we are going to look at we are going to be more personal. We are going to look at it at a more detailed version, whereby we try to compare what is the one thing that perhaps those people who are married like 10 or 5 years ago are doing, but we are not doing. The Generation Z, let me say that. So I have maybe 10 or 5 reasons as to why, to me, on my side, I feel like most marriages in 2025 might not survive it. And if you have a comment or if you have a different thoughts about perhaps my views, after maybe I've explained or before I've explained, please don't hesitate to share, don't hesitate to comment. So let's meet at the comment section. And so there are several factors that if you look at them, some of them may tell you like blankly that marriages might not be surviving this 2025. Like most of them might not be surviving this 2025. I don't know if some have already gone the wrong way or faced the other direction, but according to my views, according to how I see them, and that's why we are doing this episode actually to see what is the one thing that can make the marriages not survive the 2025 way. So there are several things that, according to me, I feel I should share with you, my audience, because perhaps it might end up helping one of you, or it might end up saving your marriage, so that it's not in the list of those marriages that are falling in the 2025 or that are being witnessed as a downfall in 2025. One factor, number one, top of the list factor that makes most of the marriages not make it in 2025 is communication. What do I mean by this? So find that currently there are lots and lots of technology. Like it's lots and lots of technology that are just going round and round in the global connection. And so you find that there is the introduction of artificial intelligence, there is a lot of things. And so you find that when marriages at some point, they don't maybe when couples that are married or that are newly married or that are in a relationship, they don't get along together. They don't solve their problems together. One of the factors is lack of communication. At the end of the day, you find that when there is that miscommunication, or when there is that fallout between them, they find it more easier to text, or maybe they find it more easier to just call one person, like each other on a phone call. But trust me, this texting and calling, it's not like the active way of solving the issues that you have in a marriage. Because if you have a fallout, definitely one thing that I'll advise is verbal communication. As much as you have all that credit, you have all that bundles, you have all that, but trust me, if you call someone, if you call your partner, and then you start telling him or her how you're sorry, how you didn't just expect it to happen like that, and trust me, there are high chances that he or she will lie to you. She might lie to you that she has forgiven you, or he will lie to you that he has forgiven you, and you assume everything is okay, everything is fine. But at the end of the day, you've not solved any problem. Also, I'll advise that if there is a fallout between couples, communication is one thing. Being there actively, like verbally, it's the most important thing above every other thing, because this one will end up like solving 90% of your problems. And so, for us not to be in the list of those relationships that might not make it in 2025 or survive in 2025, I would advise that being there physically, being there actively as part of the communication process, it really helps big time. And so that is number one. Number two, we are going to lack of sexual intimacy. What do I mean by this? When there is no emotional intimacy and perhaps sexual uh, intimacy, most marriages tend to fall apart. Reason being, you find that when you are couples, when both of you like were dating and all that, and then you end up into marriage, and perhaps now you start figuring out like this is not the right partner for me. This is not like who I wanted to be with. And so you find that most of the time you will be there physically. Most of the time you will be there, like your body is the one that will be there. But emotionally you won't be there. You will be like giving another person your attention. This means that as much as your partner will want you there, both emotionally, both physically, but you will be just giving part of you to her or to him. And this, trust me, it reduces that, it reduces the bond, actually it destroys the bond that it was once built. Because once you've started being there for your partner physically, but not emotionally, even sexually, you won't be there because you will lose interest. That is number one thing. And so, otherwise, if by any chance you wanna solve problem, you wanna figure out how to solve an issue between the two of you, then it's good to be there, like physically, emotionally, mentally. You just have to be there all yourself, everything with you to be there. And trust me, this one will solve 90 or 98% of the problem. Another thing is, most of the couples, that's number three reason, that's our number three reason. You find that most of the couples, they live like, or they tend to live like their roommates. What do I mean by their roommates? I know like most of you will be like, why is this guy telling the truth? But the thing is, most of the couples, after a while, after they've lived like 5 years, 10 years, and perhaps they've achieved what they want, or maybe they were just joined by an emotional thing, like all sexual thing. And so you find that now when they settle, that's when they settle in the essence of they are married, yes, you find that most of the things that they will be doing, it won't be as the day they met. What do I mean by this? What I mean is, when couples stay together for the longest time, they tend to like always figure out like this person is always there. Like I can do what I can do because he's ever there. You see, I don't know how to put it in a layman's language, but the thing is, living like roommates simply means like I can come to the room, I can come in the house, do 1, 2, 3. If I feel like having food, you cook for me. If I feel like having sex, you give me the sex, and then after that, there is nothing else you can talk about. There is nothing else you can do. After that, every other person or both of us will go to our phones, spend the whole time in social media without talking about anything. And so we will just say that that's a day lost because we don't see what to discuss with one another. We are just there for the benefit of each other. And this should not be like something, should not be a case in a marriage or a case in a relationship or a case with couples that have lived for the longest time, or maybe they're just starting their relationship, or they have just been married. It shouldn't be by any chance. It shouldn't be the case. What I'll advise is, you should always like find something different to do. Like every other day, they will bring a new idea about the marriage, or when you are dating, or when you're just in the new relationship, and so that it doesn't get bored. The relationship don't get. For us to like go out of that cycle of marriages that are being counted as those that will fail, or those that are failing in 2025. I really feel like we should just figure out how to run all these things. And then another bigger problem that might also cause most relationships or marriages or couples to like have that tough times, or make marriages fall out in 2025 is the financial issues. Sometimes financial problems can't be solved. Sometimes they can be solved depending on the approach that you give it. Because when you're earning less and you are able to maintain yourself, you are able to live within the standards that are required based on calculation of your money, then trust me, things will run smoothly, just the way you want, just the way you really wish them to do. But when you're earning more and you can do a whole lot of things with that money, then trust me, things will move as you need, as you want, as you expect. So the problems comes in when perhaps you once lived in that situation whereby you could get every other thing just at a blink of an eye or at a snap of a finger, and then now something happens and then you go down. So when you go down, at some point most partners will understand, but there are those that at some point they never understand. Whatever they do, they will never understand. And so this one will continue bringing issues until you start seeing that marriage as perhaps a curse, or maybe it was just a mistake that you did, and all you need is just to walk out. That one should never be the case. I believe like communication, our first reason for the fallout of marriages in 2025, that one should be always the best thing to do. You communicate, not through the phone, not through text, but actively and verbally. I believe you should do this, then at some point your partner will listen to you, he will calm down or she will calm down, and then we'll be able to solve these problems just within you, just in the house or in-house. So this should never even at any point in life tend to stress you, because if you're being stressed due to financial problems, then that means your attention is diverted to financial problems, or rather your attention is diverted to financial solution, and so you won't give your partner, or you won't give both of you the good time that you need to work things out, because most of the time you'll be figuring out, how will I go back to that life that I used to have? How will I jump into that life that we used to have, the beautiful life that we used to have? We should should always take things easy. We should always communicate. Tell one another what is there, what is not there. Just seeing how to figure things when in the name of financial status comes in, we are at a better position to work things out as couples. And so number 4 is number 5. I think we're in number 5 or number 4. Number four reason for most marriages failing or going down in 2025 is social media. Social media is a very, very terrible disease. And you can all agree with me that social media will do worse than you expect in your marriages or in your relationships, or if you're newly wedded, social media will do you no good. Because reason being, number 1, social media has all sorts of people. There are those who fake life. There are those who just live the real life. There are those who go round and round, like telling you how much they do, how much they earn, how much they spend. But in real sense, they don't do that. And so you find that when you are couples and you spend most of the time on social media. I'll give a perfect example. Just the other day, I'm sorry to say this, or maybe whoever, okay, I'm not going to call the names, but I'll just use an example of them. Just the other day, there was a wedding in Ukambani. Apparently, it was the son of a famous or a former president getting wedded. And then the other week, like 2 weeks back, it was the wedding of a musician. I don't know if it was the wedding or a show. Either way, it was the wedding of a famous musician or an artist. And you find that throughout that week of the Russia, you find that social media was just talking about how the wedding went, how money was flouted, like in that wedding, how people were dressed, the people that were present, how did they look like, how, you see, like, social media, it was just a topic throughout the week. And I even saw it on Citizen, like as an advert on a weekend wedding. It was weekend wedding edition, such kind of a thing. But you find that if you find someone who is into whatever other people wants to do, whatever other people are doing, that is where you will draw the line. That is the bottom line. That is the bottom line of all the problems of of your marriage falling. Because this person, if she is a lady, she will be like, I really want that kind of advice show. And then you as the man, you know yourself, you know very well, you are not able to like gather all that money to do this, the exact ratio that was done by the two weddings that I've just mentioned. And you find that now this will bring in pressure, a lot of pressure, like day in, day out. She wants this, she wants that, she wants this. And you'll be like, it's not enough. The money I have, it's not enough. It's either you go broke, but you try to like make someone happy because of what she saw on social media, or you keep it simple, like clear that you will do it, but not as exact as those two guys or people did. And so you find that when there is miscommunication about this issue and there is that persistence in social media, it will really bring the fall down of most marriages. And that one I can assure you, your marriage won't survive if you are kind of a guy who social media is everything to him or her. Your marriage won't survive, because just the same way as maybe the lady is seeing, you as the guy, you will also want to like impress the lady by wearing expensive clothes, and then you'll be like, what are they for? No, I'm not saying it's bad to wear expensive clothes, but if you can afford, yes, go for it. If you can't, go for what you can afford, and then things will just be okay with you. You'll save your marriage, you'll save money, you'll save everything. Like, it'll just be up to what you want. You see? And so that is what I can say, tell you guys. And then we have number five, we have those people who, you find that when you are married, they want to get married. Let me say that. You find that these people who always want to get married, most of them, perhaps, or I'm just saying, maybe someone was hurt in the past relationship or in the past marriage, and then she walked out or he walked out, and then he comes and meet you, the new guy, and then you start dating and end up marrying. So you find that these people's expectations that they will put in this marriage, it's too high. The expectations are very, very high, in the sense that they will want you, or they will be working in that marriage or relationship with that an expectation of what? Of they want to be healed. Like they were once heartbroken and now they want to be healed. And so what do they expect? They expect you to treat them nice. They expect you to like take them out, take them on a dinner dates, buy them clothes, do them shopping. You see, the expectations are just too much. And then you as the gent, if you don't meet these expectations, you find that that's where now you start having quarrels. That's where now you start being like you are not getting along together with one another. And so every other day, every other night, it will start with a fight today. Then after 2 days, another fight. And then after 3 days, and then come next week, it will be every day until you feel like, no, I've got enough of this. I'm just tired of this. And so, trust me, things will not work out for you just like you expected. But then what I can say is, if you are going into a marriage, don't have so much expectation. Sometimes where the person you are going to is just someone who is just a beginner, somebody who is just starting from scratch. Maybe him also he was hurted somewhere, and yeah, he moved on. He said, okay, let me just pick the small pieces of my heart and then fix them, and then I start from the scratch. And so if you go there with your whole lot of expectation, trust me, you are wrong. So you should just calm down, do what is needful, take things easy, and I believe things will work for you. It's never too late for anyone. That's what I can say. It's never, never too late. And so lastly, we have the modern world. The modern world is a great impact to the marriages that we have here, to the fall. Actually, the modern world is a great impact to the fall of most marriages in 2025. Reason being, you find that when you are in a house, married or in a relationship, you find that both of you tend to take the roles that they assume they should. What do I mean by this? The roles are like, if you are a man, you should stick to the roles of being a man, and if you are a lady, you should stick to the roles of being a lady. And so you find that this modern world believes that the girl child should always be the one feeling okay. She should be always being provided for, taken care of, and all that. But on the other hand, the boy child also says like, this thing is a 50-50 thing. We should just, you take care of me, I take care of you. You buy me this, I buy you that. You do me this, I do you that. And so, at the end of the day, there will be that competition of gender roles. Like, I'm the one who should do this. No, you're the one who should do that. And so, even if you find that when you go along for 2-3 years, and then maybe you have your kid or your kids, you start being like, you're the one to go and pick our kids from school, And then the lady will be, no, that's your work. I'm not going to do that. You just go pick the kids from school. And so at the end of the day, this will, in fact, will affect marriages. This will not even spice up any marriage, but instead it will bring it from bad to worse. So I'll really advise that the issue of gender roles, once you are couples, you are one thing. That is number one. If you are married, you are one thing. And so one thing means you speak in one language, you speak in one unison. And so you be an example for one another. Without making much competition or prior competition, like I have to do this, you are the one to do this. And on marriage is one thing, and if you're married, just stick to it. Just see the best ways to spice up the marriage. See the best ways to do things in a different way, like every other day. Do a new thing. In that way, you'll find that most of the things that you used to perhaps say that can't happen, they just happen on their own. So I like to close it at that. Don't let the audiograms, the Instagram, and maybe the social media destroy your marriage. And if you're one of the victims, it's never too late. It's not too late. I believe things can still change. You can still do it. You can still end up spicing your marriage. You can still do all that is necessary. And so, if you find this episode interesting, if you find this episode amazing, if you find this episode worth listening to, or if you find this episode interesting in the sense of it will help another person or it has helped you, please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share as well, and put on the notification bell for the next episode so that you don't miss any. And so thank you guys, thank you for tuning in. Kindly stay tuned for the first podcast TV show. Till we meet again.